Good morning from Melbourne. How are you all? I am really happy to be here. I have a question for us all. It's been something that is very passionate to my heart, and that is discovering challenges in yourself, in your work, in your business, in your personal development, and finding ways to overcome them. I'm a big fan of seeing things for how they are, when they are, what is happening, what has attracted them, and then moving through them. And I'm all about that in my own business, in helping others, which is my passion, and in my art as well when I'm creating. It seems like it doesn't matter what we do, there's always a problem that's presented to us in one form or another, and then it's how we overcome them, what we're like, what's our behavior like, how do we approach the challenge, do we shy away from the challenge, do we deny it, ignore it, do we hit it on head up first, do we charge into it, do we give ourselves enough time to reflect about the proper strategy or method of approaching the challenge? Do we look at mentors or people that have been through what we're going through and learn from them, learn from their wisdom and how they've gotten through that particular challenge that we may be facing? But today is all about our most challenging thing in our workplace, in your job that you've got, or in the business that you've got. In your home, if you're a stay-at-home mum, that's a huge job, and I really respect you for that. It's a massive job, and you must come up through many challenges, many things that challenge you throughout the day, and looking at the way that you approach that, the way that you overcome that, the way that we interact with people that we're butting heads with or that we have conflict with. How do we do that? What is the most challenging thing? I'm just putting it out there today just to bring it up to the surface. So if there's anything that kind of came off, the self-care that I've been focusing on a lot in this group, that we can see about ourselves, and now moving that through our daily life and into our business, and looking at what we can do to help others to understand us better, to help others to communicate with us in the way that we want to be communicated with, the way that we want to be respected. And so it's really all about looking at your biggest challenge. So today my question to you all is, what is your biggest challenge at work? Now, of course, for me, I say of course because it's been a challenge. I have a couple of challenges that I want to share with you for me in my business that I am still working on, is because I've been creative since I was really young. Like, I remember drawing when I was like 6, like really detailed drawings. I used to love drawing birds, and I'd just sit in front of the television. Sometimes I wouldn't watch the television, I'd just draw. And the reason why I'm sharing this story is because I get so focused on one thing. So for me in business, the challenge is not to get too focused on the one thing and not see the bigger picture. That's one of my challenges, is I tend to go hone in, right in, and then things start to fall apart. So I'm still learning in my business to juggle the pieces but not get overwhelmed, to juggle the pieces in my business all at the same time. So throwing all the balls up and just hoping that I can use my intuition, not hoping, but I try and use my intuition to work out what the priorities are. And what helps me in my personal challenge in business is to get really organized. So I sit down every morning and I think, okay, what are the 3 major things that need to be done today? And I refer that to my bigger planner, which is my weekly planner, my monthly planner, and my sort of like the 3-month planner, and then the yearly planner. So I kind of do all this sort of planning at the start of the year, and then I break it up into weeks. So my challenge is to stick to that plan, because what I can do is, say for example, last week, I can share with you quite openly actually, with the challenge that we did with the self-love challenge, I loved it so much. I was so into it, so focused, and loving the responses and the interaction I got with all of you. And then I let a few things slip. So one of my pieces in my business is tarot reading and tarot parties. I love to help people and learn about spirituality and psychic abilities and their intuition through tarot parties. Really fun and light. And I let that go. I let that slip for that week because my focus was on the challenge. And so I know it's a sort of your businesses have seasons, but I know in terms of what my goals are, what I need to juggle at the same time. And there were kind of a couple of key pieces that I could have kept up in terms of the tarot and tarot readings and tarot parties. Just a few pieces that I knew I had to do. But no, I went stubbornly headfirst into the challenge going, yeah, I love doing this. So my challenge is balancing the pieces in my business. And also another challenge of mine is painting, because I actually dream about painting. Look, I have dreams about painting, and I used to be an artist and I was an art teacher as well. And so I kind of let that slip. So I let the creative pieces in my personal life slip. I don't sell art necessarily. Like I can do commissions, but it's not my priority. It's mainly I use art therapeutically now. It's more than selling or anything. But I let that go. So I'm not working on my own personal development through my art, because I know there's something in there for me in terms of my own practice that can really elevate my business. So looking at creative as an energy, what that can do to my business, I know what it can do. So my challenge is to make time to actually create and do art. And I have been doing it, kind of scheduling it on the weekend, but I think that sort of needs to change because I'm not keeping to that schedule. So what I'm thinking of doing is, even if it's just an hour a day of just drawing or painting, to actually change my routine, to change my schedule a little so that I can use the art as an inspiration in my creativity, in my business. And yes, so if anybody today has anything to share about what they find challenging in their workplace, please write it in the comments so that we can all share and have a look at, maybe there'll be some similarities in our own workplace challenges, or that we can help each other out in some way to shed some light in a new way about a new approach to look at our challenges as well. So another thing I wanted you to think about is looking at the bigger picture and looking at if you have a business, if you had a magic wand, what would you need to change your business? What would it look like? If you could just wave that magic wand, what would that look like? And if you're a stay-at-home mum and you have a huge job, if you could, wave a magic wand, what would your home and home dynamics, what would that look like? What would your day look like? So I'd love for you to share with the group here about what you would do if you had that magic wand. If I could give you a magic wand and you could just wave it, what would that look like? And how would that diminish your challenges? So speak about your challenges, what they are, so that we can share. But also speak about in the comments about your ideal, your magic recipe, your future look of what you want your world, your house, your work, your lifestyle to be like. Okay, that's all I have to share. If anybody's got any questions, please write them in the comments. I'm happy to talk to anyone about any challenges that you're having at the moment, and if there's anything that us as a group can help you with.